Now I've got my siding angles. Okay, so here's the siding angle for my arm support. So what's happening here is this arm support, as with all the other spindle holes and leg holes, is at a compound angle, but what we're doing is eliminating compound angle, finding a siding angle, and then drilling at a resultant angle, which would be, for this arm support, I think 25 degrees, and siding back at this point right here. It makes it much easier to drill like that. On continuous arms and loopbacks and some others, fan backs, I go ahead and bore all of these holes right now, and I have siding points for all of them, and I can do that with this cone back, but I prefer to just bore the center spindle and the two arm supports. Then I'll mount my arm, drill through the arm, and then with an extension I'll drill these holes, and the chair lines up just a little more perfect when you do it right like that. So right now I'll just be drilling the center hole and the arm support holes. Okay, pattern's all laid out, and I'm going to bore the 3 holes, the center spindle hole, the 2 arm support holes, and so let's get the hole fast in there. That works right there. Okay, drilling holes. There are a lot of different ways you can drill a hole, and you end up pretty much the same thing, a hole. Depends on what you want to use. If you want to use your cordless drill and a brad point, that's fine, whatever works. For the spindle holes, I like to use auger bits, because if they're really tuned up, those spurs just score in that soft pine. Pine's difficult to cut at any rate, sort of like trying to slice a tomato, and you need really sharp tools in order to cut it, all the way from draw knife to drill bit. But you can get those spurs really sharp, and they'll score just a beautiful hole in this. Also, you don't need a depth gauge with an auger bit, because you just count your turns. Lead screw pulls it through. This bit right here, I like to drill these 1 1/8 deep, and this bit's about 18 turns for 1 1/8. So I'll show you how to do that. Got my bevel square set up for 11 degrees, which is what this angle is right here. That's called the resultant angle. Siding angle for the center one is just the center line of the chair. Let's put it in right like that. Do about 6 or 7 turns. Look at it. That looks good. Good right there. I mean, if I'd ever buy a shorter bevel square, I could just leave it there, but I just continue to do it right like this. So that's 18, and so that should be 1 1/8. What I drilled this with, or the bit brace, is a Spofford. A lot of you are familiar with it. It's a split chuck, and is pulled together with this thumb screw, and I love them. They're just great. One fellow one time told me, yeah, they're nice, but I sure do like the quick release of my cordless drill. And I said, yeah, I wish I had a quick release on my drill. Now I'm changing to a spoon bit, and I put an extension on it so I can get the angle better. The reason I changed to a spoon bit is these arm support holes are 24 degrees. And what happens with an auger bit, I can drill it with an auger bit, but if I'm off just a little bit, it'll pull a chip on the front, because I've got to lean back so far. And if I lean back too much, it'll mess up the back. And so I just drill these with a spoon. And so let's go with 24. This one's drilled all the way through, so I don't have to worry about any depth. Siding angle is right out through there. Resulting angle is 24 degrees. Yeah, a little bit more. Now let's take a look at it. Now you probably noticed I put my mouth on this thing, and that's so my body can hold it steady. So there's the arm supports that are going to be going in here, and I'm going to taper the hole, and I use a taper reamer. Now the reamer that I use is a 6-degree included angle. A lot of them you see are 11-degree included angle. I prefer a 6. It takes out less wood, which is real important, I think, right over here. And it locks a little better. But other than that, either one of them will work. I just prefer this. This one's made by Alia Bazzari. If you want to make one yourself, it's easy. You just get a compass saw blade and make it and sharpen it like a cabinet scraper. Or you can buy one from Alia. Let's see, slide that thing back in there. Self-centering. So now you could take the bevel square when you're reaming and put it up against that blade, but it's easier if I subtract 3 degrees, which is half the reamer, since it's a 6-degree reamer, and then I can just put it right up against the front there, and I can side it like that. For siding, the siding angle, it's really easy. You just put up tri-square there, and you just line up that point, that square, and that line, and you got it. I'm kind of brushed up against my workbench here, but I can see it. So I'm got to come left a little bit. So we'll check out my angle. I can go up about a ½ degree, and I can go left about a quarter of an inch. So I can take it out, clean it right like that, stick it back down. So that means I got to go up and left a little bit, just at least a little bit. Now let's take a look at it, and I'm nailing it right there, and I moved up just a little bit too much. So let's see what we got there. I'm dead on it, and I'm splitting it dead on it there. So let's check our depth. Let's see, there's my, so I used a pair of dividers, and it's going to go that deep right there, that score line. So I need to come down a little bit more. So I can clean it right like that, stick it back in there, and I'm sitting dead on it, so if I can just hold that, which is usually impossible. Okay. Holding that one, I drifted a tad bit right. Dead on it there. Check my depth again. So, like a little over a quarter. I'll get it really quick, so I gotta make sure I'm on it. I'm on it there. I can come up just a bit. Okay. So I'm about an 1/8 inch shy, and I'm going to stop right there because I'm going to take the other one down to about an 1/8 inch shy, and then I'll show you why I'm doing that. Now, one thing that you might not be picking up is my grain orientation. There's grain orientation through the chair. All tenons, except for the spindles, and there's a different reason there, but all tenons are oriented to where the growth rings are perpendicular to the longwood fibers of the mortise piece. So longwood fibers of the seat are running that way. That means that you've got a hole like that. Your tenon has the growth rings running right like that. And the reason why is you're isolating the two planes that move the most, and you're isolating the two planes that move the least. Comes right out of Hoadley's book. Okay, we'll go over to the next one. So, I've got both of them down within an 1/8 of an inch of where I want them. And now, what I do is I take away the two squares and I put winding sticks on them. Now, the reason that I don't go to this extreme with the legs. I just kind of ream them and get them close. But I want these as perfect as I can get them because they control the back. And the more perfect they are, the more perfect my back's going to line up, and the less tweaking I'm going to have to do with it. So that's why I'm doing this right here. So anyway, so let's just throw the winding stick on there and we can look, and I can see, and I always do that to line them up to make sure, because I've taken it the wrong way before. Bummer. Okay, I need to go that way on that one, and I need to go that way on that one. Just a tad bit. I'm off about an 1/8 of an inch. An 1/8 of an inch and 2 feet. Not bad, but I can nail it. Or I think I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull straight back this way. Just turn and pop that in there. Check my depth. And I am dead on it. Now, check and see if we got it with that. Got about half of it. Okay, knock things off here. Let's see what kind of damage we did here. We are on it. Ta-da! Nice. Okay. So I label left and right as I sit in the chair. So this is the left arm support, and there's its orientation right there. That's the right arm support, and there's its orientation.